Hey, and welcome into another video. Here today we are going to bring you a little bit something different here. This is going to be an attack by me here on this base, and then we're going to see how it gets cleaned up in a second attack. So just to let you know, this first attack here that I'm doing, it actually did not go to plan. It did not work, but I'm going to walk you through the plan I had for it, because ultimately we're going to build off of that in the second attack to be able to come in and get this triple. So the first thing I seen when I was looking at this base here, I thought it would be good for some dragons on this base, because one of the things I'm looking at is the air defense placement. We got an air defense here, here, an AD here, and one here as well. So because these two ADs are pretty close together here in this section, I thought maybe I could get a blimp in, starting from here to go into this section, and pop the blimp somewhere over here. I was going to do a double clone and then a rage over this entire section, and that way I was going to be able to take everything out that was in this entire section, including the two air defenses and the Inferno. I have a 3 loons and an E-drag in there as well, just so we can clear out that area. With that part. So imagine all that's gone right there. So that's already gone. We got 2 air defenses out of the way. We got an Inferno out of the way. That is just tremendous value right there from the blimp portion. After that, what I figured I would do is I drop a couple loons up here to snipe off this mortar and that builder hut. And then I was going to start my king in from over here. I know there's some Teslas over in this area right here. So I was going to drop my ice golem right here, and the ice golem was just going to go in here and tank for the enemy barb king right there, so that my king can finish him off quicker, and then the king would just continue to run down the side right like that. And then I thought that, okay, if I can do that, I can break my queen in with some wall breakers right into this section here, break into that wall, take out the town hall and all this good stuff right there. I might have actually probably dropped the queen somewhere right over here so that she could step up, take out these defenses first, including that scatter shot, and then she would go into the wall like that and then target the town hall just to get that scatter shot out of the way first. And then once that was done, my plan was then to come in from this sort of angle right here, drop the dragons right like that, and then have them continue on through the base. I was going to drop a rage here, a rage here. There was a sweeper here, so I was going to freeze that right there, and just have the dragons push through. And then on the back end, I was going to drop a giant here, taking out, distracting this archer tower. And then I was going to put the RC here so that the RC can come in, this level R20 RC can come in, take out all these structures, including this Inferno, everything down here. That way the dragons would only have to worry about this part of the base right there. So initially I thought this was a pretty good plan. Let's go check out the replay and see exactly what went wrong and why this ended up not being a triple. Alrighty, and here we go with this replay. This is the replay, the sketch that we were just drawing up. Here we go. Here comes the Sui loon there just to take out any seeking air mines. Nothing was there. Dropping the blimp clones down, double clones in the rage. The balloon's doing nice work there. Just being able to take everything down in that section just like we had hoped for. Then the loon's coming off to pick up the mortar up there. And then shortly I'm going to start my my king right here. And then the ice golem is going to come in. What I initially didn't plan was this E-drag's going to go over here and take out all these structures. So that means the king isn't going to walk down this way. He's going to try to come into the town hall. Here is what happens. Here's the critical error in the entire raid. The freeze from the ice golem froze the archer tower. It wears off just as I drop the wall breakers in range of the archer tower, and the archer tower able to take them all down right there. So I didn't get the wall break. And from here I'm like, okay, well, I'll put my queen down here. We'll take out these defensive structures. Maybe she paths into this wall just like a After she takes this scatter shot off, maybe there's a chance she paths in and hit this wall right there, opens it up and takes the town hall. But that doesn't happen right there. The queen just decides to walk around to get that gold storage. And now I'm like, all right, I'm just going to start the raid here. I'm going to drop the drags. We're going to save the royal champion for the town hall. And maybe we'll be able to snipe that off. I got the king in, and then I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll freeze it. And I missed the cannon there, and the expo was firing on him anyway. So that was just a wasted freeze, kind of almost like a panic freeze at that point. I dropped my royal champion right there to pick off the town hall. But the queen pulls out the hound, so the hound comes over to the royal champion and is going to distract her. So that town hall is never going to go down in the entire raid. Dragons continue to move forward. They push forward. They get good value right in through this area. As you can see, royal champion just got stuck on the hound there and wasn't able to finish off the town hall. She was going to be responsible for all these back-end defenses right there. And ultimately, because of that failed wall break, it didn't go to plan. I feel like if I had the wall break, of course, this would have looked a lot different, because the Inferno on the town hall would have never been able to damage the drags. I'd have had the RC to pick off some of these back-end defenses and whatnot. But unfortunately, sometimes that just doesn't go to plan. Poor wall break on my part. But let's go ahead and check out the next drawing to see exactly how this is going to be able to get cleaned up in the next attack. All right, and here we go with the cleanup attack here by Ultimate Bliss. He came in and was able to get the triple on this base using a very similar comp to the one I was using, but did change up the plan just a bit there. So let's see exactly what his plan was. His plan was much similar. He's going to fly the blimp in. He's going to pop it right over that Inferno. And in his case, he's actually going to just drop one clone, and he's going to bring one haste with that. I brought 2 clones. I brought and a rage with that. So that was a lot of spell space that I used for something that he was basically able to cut in half the amount of spell space used right there in that area, and he's going to be able to get the same amount of value. I brought an E-Drag in my attack. He, however, is just going to bring loons in his blimp. That way he have enough loons to get through that section without needing 2 clones. So right away he's able to save some nice spell space on that. So once this entire section is down, he then is going to drop an Ice Golem up here with the queen in from behind to be able to, Ice Golem's going to be able to tank some of this DPS. He wants this queen to come in, and he wants to pick off that air defense and to remove this royal champ as well. That also helps to create the funnel for the dragons. The Barb King is going to be walking around this section of the base, just walking around there, picking off the trash. And for him, he didn't want to have to deal with a wall break into the town hall because, like you've seen on mine, it didn't go well. There's, sometimes things can happen, timing things well, just like I did. So he wants to go more safe route. He's going to bring the drags in exactly from the town hall, and he's just going to rage them up there. Let them get through the town hall, let them beat through there. He has quite a bit of rages, quite a bit of freezes. He has 3 rages for the drag portion. So that's wonderful right there. And he also has 3 freezes as well that he can use on the base. So he'll be able to rage up through the entire base, push into the Eagle compartment, push into this Inferno Tower compartment. You'll get a split on the drags. Some will go this way, some will go that way. And that is his plan right there. And for the RC, once the king comes around here, he wants to drop the RC over here to remove this air defense and any defenses it can take out there. His RC is not maxed like mine was, so it's not going to be able to get a lot of value, but if it can get that air defense and a couple defenses there, then that will be ideal for the dragons to be able to finish off the remainder of this base. So let's go and see exactly how he was able to clean this up in the replay. Alrighty, and here we go with the replay by Ultimate Bliss coming in with the drag clone attack here, that I'll call it right there. Here comes the blimp coming in trying to target these air defenses to knock them down. Blimp gets popped. Here comes the clone loons, the haste. They're going everywhere, taking out the AD. He gets exactly what he wanted from that portion right there. Tremendous value. He used half the amount of spells that I did to get the same exact value that I did as well. So a tremendous start from him early on. Here comes the queen from the 12 o'clock area with the ice golem into tank. Her job is to pick off that air defense and to get the royal champion as well. And that will allow for funneling for his dragons to come right through the town hall. The king gets dropped more at the 7 o'clock area. He's just going to wrap around, taking out those trash buildings. He's just going to continue on his little way right there. Queen's going to get popped right there. Going to be able to take down this royal champion. Down she goes. She got exactly what he wanted her to. And here comes the dragons right in for the town hall. They'll be heading exactly into it. There is that sweeper right there that'll be giving him some pushback, so he'll have to be wary of that going forward. Scatter shot also doing some damage to the dragons. His royal champion was dropped right there while the king was tanking that cannon. But unfortunately, like I said, it's only a level 7 royal champion, so didn't get a lot from her, but was able to get the air defense, which is key to this attack right here. Dragons continuing to move forward. Another rage coming down on them. King was able to tank basically the entire side of the base, and he's going to finish up over there, continuing on and going to be able to get this army camp, and then he's going to go through a wall. Dragons are starting to get low on health right there. This eagle shot should be able to finish them both off right there as they clump together. And as you can see, the warden is not in range of the eagle artillery, but so he'll be able to pick that off with ease. King able to sweep the archer tower and then move on to the gold mine. Down it goes, and the warden will be able to finish off that cannon and that gold mine right there, but not needed as the barbs are able to do that. So nice cleanup hit by Bliss coming in here, being able to take this base down, being able to save some spells that I didn't do, and ultimately that led to the success of his attack. His level 7 royal champion, had that been maxed, you could just imagine how much this base would have been completely crushed, because he'd have been able to get that inferno down, wouldn't have been able to do any damage onto the dragons. So overall, a very nice attack right there by Bliss. And you got to clean up the attacks in these wars where you get 2 hits. Watch the replays, see what your teammates are doing, and talk out a plan with them. If something came close or you think you can improve on it, go ahead and try to do it. And that's really the way to maximize your star count in these 2-hit type of wars. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.